Family Mess Podcast. I'm your host, Ian, and this is my co-host, Natalie. The Family Mess, the podcast about life with kids and all things adulting. Let's talk. Welcome back. Hey, man, we got some good news to report, man. Natalie and I are
the good news.
Natalie and I are doing our first ever video of the Family Mess Podcast on video, and we'll tell you why towards the end of the episode here, why we decided to do this.
We have not done that because
Natalie's scared of everything, so we decided to go ahead and just do it. It's what would be a green fake screen?
Yeah. Okay, we decided to do the episode.
Oh God,
we're not fully prepared for video, so we had to do makeshift to make the video work.
We don't know nothing about this crap, man.
No, we don't. But you know what they say? They say, what is it? Imperfect action. Just take the action. So we are doing an imperfect action. We apologize for our glows. We apologize for the weirdness with the thing. But yeah,
boy.
we're definitely, this is definitely a trial. And we just had to.
That's how it goes, though.
We really rigged it up to work.
That's how you got to do it, though. That's how it goes. That's how things work. That's how things start. So,
but we were told to do video. So, but we'll talk about that later in the show.
Yeah.
Talk about like our vacation.
Okay.
All right.
Great. How are we going to start this? 5 minutes a pound? Go tell them about your 5 minutes a pound and.
My 5 minutes a pound.
Now tell the audience about your 5 minutes a pound and your success from the last show.
Well, I don't even remember if I said this on the last episode or not, but I did get my new personal best for 2 miles. I got 24 minutes and 25 seconds, which is huge for me.
24 minutes?
Yes, for 2 miles.
That's pretty good.
Well, no. Shut up. Hey, being that my brother does 3 miles in like 20 minutes. But hey, it is what it is. I'm okay.
Oh, man.
I'm okay. I'm where
Damn.
But I did get my best time ever under 11 minutes for my mile, which is really good. So
Well,
the first mile I did under 11.
I mean, you've been working really hard, so it's not like you haven't improved. So that's an improvement from when you first did it.
From when
you couldn't even finish when you first started.
A minute. I could not run a minute when I started.
I'm like, in my head, I'm like, oh, you suck. Yeah, that's right. But
you're so mean.
No, just because I'm thinking in my head, I'm not gonna say it. But you
just said it. You just said it.
But you proved me wrong. That's all that counts is you proved me wrong.
Prove you wrong, Ian.
So
because you always want so bad to be right, and I make sure, and I don't ever bet you unless I'm sure I'm right.
Yeah, like when you saw Miss K's van at the church. And you were wrong.
Hey,
let's pull in the parking space. I'm like, oh, let's pull in the parking space, Natalie. Wrong. That was her van.
But usually I don't bet unless I know I'm going to be right.
You lost that one.
I'm going to be right. It's like when you wanted to go in the military, and I was like, no.
Oh.
And I was like, I will bet money. If I don't make this much money.
That was a life decision.
Time,
I don't know what I was thinking. I'm glad
right
I didn't go in the military. Oh, God.
That was God right there. Though.
Yeah.
Ian and I'll explain. So Ian wanted to be a chaplain in the reserves.
Yeah.
And I always said I didn't want to be married to somebody who's going to be gone. Like it just don't work. Ian and I don't work long distance very well. So I told him that I didn't want to be married to somebody. This when our kids were young too, right? So the kids were young, and it was just I knew it was going to be a lot for me because our kids are always crazy when they're little. And so I told him if he's like, well, I need to do this so we can get extra money. And I said, well, if I can make, I think it was
a good amount,
about like $2,000 or $3,000 extra a month or something.
Yeah, it was a pretty
and I had
significant
6 months to do it. And he was like, I said, okay, if I can make this much, well, you won't go. He's like, bet. I said, okay.
Yeah.
And he was like, I know I'm gonna win this.
Yeah. I was like, ain't no way
you're gonna make that money.
Nope.
And what happened? I got like 2 raises.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Some weird stuff happened at work at the time, and I got 2 raises, and I made the money.
Yeah.
And I said, oh,
I guess I'm staying.
Really cool
Damn it. I'm staying in this house.
Yeah.
Damn.
So, but anyway, I digress. But yeah, so I did as far as my 5 minutes a pound. So I have been running. I'm gonna sign up actually for a 5K in September. We'll see how that goes.
Yep.
But my weight has been stable since I lost my weight with the shot. I did get the shots thing I told you all about. I got the shot. And I lost like almost 30 pounds or something. I don't know.
Did anybody ever call you about those shots after the show?
What shot?
The last when you were telling them about it. Nobody called you about it? Okay.
Anybody about shots. So I've been able to keep my weight off and I'm eating better. But my next step is now I want to move to full clean eating because I can feel like my body's doing things and I need to clean up my diet to like an autoimmune type diet where you don't eat any inflammatory foods, no dairy, no gluten. What's the other one? No dairy, no gluten, and there's something else you can't eat, but mainly dairy and gluten.
No sugar.
Oh yeah, and sugar. Yeah, dairy, gluten.
How you feel about sugar? Because that's your kryptonite.
Working on it. But I know I need to do this, so I'm gonna figure it out.
Maybe I should. Can I do it with you?
Yeah, I'm just gonna be eating like trying to eat as much real food as possible. That's my next
It's
step.
so hard though. Sugar is so good.
Real food. Like I ain't going vegan and all that stuff. No, because I still like to eat meat, but I just will clean up because meat's not necessarily inflammatory if you're eating good meats. So I just want to eat, like like regular stuff, but not a lot of bacon and stuff like that. But I'm gonna still eat meat.
Tastes
So
so
just
good.
getting rid of sugar,
Yeah.
dairy, and the gluten,
Okay,
which
well,
are
that's
the
good.
worst and the best at the same time.
Well, good.
Yeah.
Well, I recently took a trip out west to work,
Yes.
and
So that's what we're talking about today. Ian.
yeah, I took a trip out west for work, and I was going to be out there for about a week. And I told Natalie, I'm like, hey, part of my work is I'm going to be.
You ain't tell us what we talking about.
Oh, what are we talking about today?
We're talking about our trip. You adding all
Oh,
this extra.
we took a trip. Shut your ass up.
No,
Shut your.
hey, we talking about the trip. That's what we're talking
We're
about.
talking about a trip to Las Vegas that now I took about a week ago, and we wanted to tell everybody about the different things that we did, people we met, and we thought this podcast was the best forum to tell
I
everybody
guess
about it.
Ian want to talk about it. I'm just here.
Well, I mean, how many times have you been to Vegas now?
This is my second time.
I thought this is only your second time.
Dude, we went before.
This is like my third or fourth
Okay, well,
time.
congrats to you. I've only been one time, or this is my second time.
But but Natalie and I don't get caught up in this Vegas stuff too much. I mean, we're not big gamblers.
Oh,
We're not big drink. We're not boring.
we are boring.
No,
Dude,
we're
we
absolutely
went to
not
Vegas.
boring.
Hold on. We went to Vegas. We had no alcohol.
We didn't even have one drop of
Wait, look,
alcohol.
I just disappeared. This video thing. Okay,
This video sucks, man.
Hey, we're doing
Listen,
it in perfect action.
it's
We're
the
doing
first
it.
time,
Yeah,
and I think we're gonna get better as this thing goes on. But we have to start somewhere.
Yeah, we'll get the
so.
right equipment next time. But
Yeah.
anyway, so I have to keep very still.
Yeah, you can't move much. Look at your mic's almost gone. Don't move much.
All right, so yeah, we went to Vegas. We didn't gamble. We didn't drink. We didn't get to look at any hotels. We
didn't see a damn show. We didn't see.
we didn't see a show.
We didn't do the Vegas nothing.
No,
we did.
So I don't even know what that is.
We didn't do nothing involving the strip except that one night
we didn't have a real Vegas tourist experience.
No, we didn't. Well, I think because we did it before for a little bit, but this time I think we had more time. But even then, I think it wasn't wholly planned.
I didn't plan nothing because I didn't have time to plan.
I just said, "Hey, Natalie, show up and we'll hang out for a couple days," and that's literally what she did. She literally showed up. We hung out for like a couple.
No, hold on. You skipping a whole bunch of backstory.
What did I skip?
So we took a trip to DC. I think in January.
Let me tell him.
In January.
Let me tell him why.
No, you could explain. I'm just going to talk.
Okay.
I'm just giving it
Okay.
So we took a trip in January to DC.
Yeah.
And
I thought it was Philadelphia.
No,
it was DC. Okay.
It was DC.
Okay.
So we took this trip to DC, and I think we had a timeshare thing. So we took the trip to DC on this little timeshare thing. I think it was. Maybe it was. I don't know. Anyway, we went to DC. So when we're walking through the lobby, there's this lady. I'm gonna just describe the lady. This is black lady. She had a big afro and she had big breasts.
Yes.
Okay. She was very nice, very friendly, and she was like, "Hey," and of course Ian's like, "Hey."
I didn't.
And so she's like, "Oh, well, you guys, can you come and talk to me? Let me tell you about this timeshare thing or whatever. You guys can come and have another visit to somewhere or whatever."
Damn.
And so Ian's like,
I was looking at her boobs the whole damn. She knew what she was doing, man.
I was like, "We don't need this, Ian." Ian's like, "Yes, we do. We need this trip. We need to buy this trip." I said, "Ian, we don't need to." Man, spend the money. I'm our money person.
I got lost in the boobs, man. Her breast. I was like, "What the hell's going on here?" And I'm like, "Oh."
I already knew once Ian was decided that he was getting this thing. I knew it was because of the lady. I was just like, so after we're done and we buy this 5-day. Was it 5-day, 4-night trip to Vegas?
Oh my God.
I was like,
I'm not embarrassed. I'm not embarrassed.
I said to Ian, I said, "Did you buy that because you liked her?" He was like, "Yeah." I said, "Was it her breast?" He was like, "Yup." Nope. I was like, "Oh my gosh." So I'm not where I don't like people are probably like, "Oh my God, your husband's
I'm the worst person ever.
Ian and I talk about men and
I don't give a damn.
Yeah, we saw a lady in Costco today. Oh my, I said, "Ian, she got a bubble pop booty."
Oh, she did.
I have not seen it. Her butt was so round. And
listen,
it was nice.
There's no way that butt was real. It was round. Like if you flicked it with your finger, it wouldn't move. That's how.
Yeah.
And even Natalie was like,
I pointed it out to you. I said,
"Yeah,
"Oh, look at
Man,
booty. She got a C.
man, oh man,
But
it was too perfect. I was like, no ass is that perfect. There's no way it's that.
it looked good.
Man,
So I don't worry
slappable.
about stuff like that with Ian. So we talk about whatever. If it's guy,
Don't
girl,
judge
whatever.
me. And if you do,
But
don't
I already
care.
knew that that's the reason why he bought this damn timeshare.
I did.
Which why it makes it all the worse. Why and it was
man,
we had a bad experience.
She got me, man. She got me. No, because she described the room as
that's your karma
Yeah.
for buying this trip based
wait,
on
hold on.
breast
Wait.
on breast criteria.
How's that a karma issue?
Because you bought it under
What, fake circumstance, not
under
real?
breast circumstance. That's why breast circumstance. You didn't buy the trip because you know what, Natalie, it'll be great if we go on a trip together.
Oh my
you
God.
bought the trip because he has some big titties.
She did,
Why,
man.
That's why, and
they look
and-
good
and
too.
you
I had
and-
horrible thoughts in my head when I was looking
Ian
at her
was
too. I was
talking
like,
to her, and they were just laughing with each other. I was like, oh my.
and the whole
Lord.
time I was like, oh man, your boobs are huge. Damn.
But she was real nice though. They were.
She knew what she was doing.
Yes.
Man.
So Ian bought
Lucky I'm not
a
single.
timeshare for a mini timeshare trip. You know those mini ones that they offer you. We didn't buy a timeshare. It was a mini trip, which then you got to go to the presentation again.
How many? We've been a bunch of these.
I don't know. I'm done with.
I
them
think
things.
after this
done.
experience, I think I'm done. I'm done.
It's not. I'll put my money and go.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm no more. If I'm walking through an airport, no, I'm not doing nothing. I'm done.
we ended up going to Vegas from the trip that he bought from the lady with the breasts at the other hotel in DC. And when I booked it, they were like, "Oh, this hotel." So I looked it up. I didn't do deep dive, which I normally do into the reviews. All I did was I just looked at it was like, oh, it's a 4-star. It had 4 or 5 stars based on reviews. So I'm like, okay, I'm like 2 points. It's like 23,000 reviews or something. I was like, okay, this has been around. It's good. Yeah.
Are we gonna start there first?
Yeah. I really wish I took a picture.
Are we gonna start there first?
Where else? That's the beginning of our trip.
All right, let's start there first.
The beginning.
Let's start there first.
I guess it was the beginnings before when I got there and the eyebrow lady.
Okay. So now I'm working and we're staying at like another hotel that I'm staying at for work. Before the timeshare. And so Natalie and I are driving and she sees an eyebrow place. She goes, I want to get my eyebrows. And I'm like, Natalie, don't get your eyebrows done at a different place than you're used to. And I said, and listen, I don't know nothing about eyebrows, but I know when you go to a different town, don't go get something done like nails or eyebrows or something that used to get done at your hometown. Don't do it. And I told Natalie, I was like, Natalie, you look fine. No, and Natalie's very particular about her eyebrows. The thing is,
well, because I have very difficult eyebrows for people to do. I only got one lady who does my eyebrows.
The thing is, nobody would notice your eyebrow if you never.
I know
you do.
Maybe because I'm conscious of my
you're conscious of yours. But if you never point it out, no one's gonna look at your eyebrows. No one will really. But it's you. And so I told Natalie, I was like, Natalie, forget about it. Just wait till we get home. Your eyebrows look fine. And then she's like, okay. The next morning, Ian dropped me out the eyebrow place. I'm like,
the eyebrow place had a 5-star review. It had like a bunch of people.
I told her,
and it was all good. So I was like, all I needed was a cleanup. It wasn't for the full. Like I would only go to my lady to do a full eyebrow thing. Like if I waited too long or whatever. But I was like, oh, it's just a cleanup. And even though my eyebrows are difficult, I'm like, it's just cleanup. It's just cleaning up the little hair. And that's why I have like no makeup or anything on right now.
You don't know. You don't know. This lady don't know what cleanup is. This lady is in Las Vegas cleanup. Las Vegas cleanup is not the same thing as Altamont Springs cleanup.
So I get in the chair.
Oh my
God! The was taking way too long.
Oh, this is the best part. This is the best part.
And all she had to do, because they already had their shape, because my lady had the shape. She was just cleaning up. What's the extras,
this is the best part of the trip.
So I go in. I go in the shop. And I'm sitting there, and she's taking way too long to do my eyebrow. And I was like, "Oh my God, Lord!" But I said, "You know what? I'm into this new positive thinking."
Lord ain't gonna help you now. Go ahead.
It disappeared again. Hold on. So I don't know why the camera's moving on me today. All right. So the lady. So I'm sitting there, and I'm like, "This is way too long." But I'm like, "Okay." I'm like, "Natalie, everything's gonna be good. Your eyebrows are gonna look great. They're gonna look."
She's closing her eyes.
That's why I was sitting like that. Eyes closed.
That's what she's looking at in the video.
It's gonna be great.
Yep.
And then she does the other one. And then I open my eyes.
Wait.
She holds up the mirror, and I said,
Natalie looked concerned.
I said to her,
she had one eyebrow go up.
I said, I asked you for a cleanup. Like I said, she made my eyebrow. She gave me an arch. I don't have an arch. And they still, you can't see them good, thank God. But
Oh
I
man.
have no pencil
Hey,
on right
now
now.
they came in the car and I'm like, I didn't even say. I ain't saying nothing to you. I said I'm not saying a damn thing to you. And now it goes, you're right.
Oh, so wait. So after the lady says I'm like, you messed up my eyebrows. I said, look, this one has an arch. It didn't have an arch. I just asked you to clean it. She goes, no, no, no. I just cleaned it up. I said, no, 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 no. You did not. I said, you messed up my eyebrow. So the guy quickly calls her in the back, and he's like, I guess, and he tells the other lady, fix it, fix it. And so the other lady goes, she looks at the other lady, and she's like, and I was like, okay, well, can you help me? She's like, yes, I will fix it. Yeah. So she kind of fixed it, but at that point, I was like, oh hell, if I stay in here any longer, I'm gonna come out here looking crazy, like some Elvira stuff or something. I was like, no. So, and Ian never notices anything. And sadly, as soon as I get in the car, he looks at me and goes, oh, what the hell happened? And he just starts laughing.
Like half her eyebrow was gone. Literally, the morning I woke up, her eyebrow was there. Half of it was gone. It was like a thin, and she looked concerned. She made an arch,
yes, because this one has an arch,
and it looked,
and
she looked concerned. I'm like, hey,
have an arch.
what's wrong with half your face is concerned, the other half is normal. I was like,
oh my god,
I ain't saying
I
nothing.
had a pencil and I had to just fill it in.
I didn't say no. And the thing is, for the rest of the day, I didn't even notice it. But at that moment, I noticed it. I'm like, I told you so. I'm not saying nothing else. I told you so. I was like, you don't listen. I said I would have never thought of going someplace else in a different town.
All right. Well, can I say? And I had a feeling that Ian might be right, but I was hoping he was wrong. But I will say, lesson learned, and I will only go to my lady at the mall, and she's the only one that I will let do my eyebrows from now on. So I hope she never retires or I never move, because I don't know what I'm going to do. Because I mean, literally, my eyebrows are super complicated.
You should shave them off and get them tattooed on.
No. Because then I got to put chemicals. You know how I'm about chemicals.
Oh, get on natural dye, like an animal dye or something.
They have stuff, but she been trying to get me to tint my eyebrows
like beaver pea or something.
Yeah, she's been trying to get me to do the tint, but I'm like, I don't know. So we'll see. But yeah, but that was my first taste of
I forgot about
Las Vegas debacle.
I forgot about that.
My poor eyebrow.
Ooh.
But yeah, I don't know if y'all can see, but this one, I got thinner. My eyebrows are thin at the edge. I think I have
Natalie, what are you so concerned about today?
No, I'm just saying.
I'm making fun of your concern.
Oh, shut up. So that's okay. That's okay. I love myself as I am with my imperfect eyebrows. I can live with that. Because I've seen some girls with some crazy looking eyebrows, so I can live with that. The ones that they got the ones that go choo choo. I've seen those. I don't have those, so I can deal with the one.
Well, I guess that would be our first little I guess drama.
Yes, that was before we got to the hotel.
Yeah.
Now we were okay. So I get to the hotel, I go check in. First, I tell the lady our name or my name, and she's like, "You're not in here." And I was like, "What you mean?" So I'm like, "Okay, well maybe it's under my husband's name." So I gave him his name, and she's like,
"We should have known.
He's not in here." And I was like, "What are you talking about? How is he not in here?" I said. And so then finally she figured out that I spelled the name, and she goes, "Oh, I have an M at the end, not an N." I said, "Okay." So she found this. I was like, "Thanks God." And then she's like, "Do you want to upgrade for $100 to your upgrade your room?" And I was like, "Well, what am I going to get if I upgrade?" And she's like, "Oh, this is an older hotel." And that was my first like red flag, like older hotel. Oh, hell. So she's like, "Oh, it's an older hotel and you'll be closer in the room." I said, "Was the room going to be nicer?" She's like, it's a little bit bigger."
Lies.
I was like, it might have been nicer, but it wasn't a whole lot of improvement.
Listen, we should have known.
So
what was the first thing I said when I drove up? I'm like, man, now look at that old hotel with the stuff on the window. That's what I said. We didn't before we even knew we were gonna stay. We're just driving by, and I'm like, man, look at that hotel up there. Now there's stuff on the windows and falling apart.
This hotel is one of the oldest hotels in Vegas.
Oh my God.
On the Strip, yeah.
Oh.
And we found out this hotel is going to be torn down soon. So I was just like
in a couple months.
After the fact.
Yeah, after the fact we found this out.
But anyway, so we get up in the room, and for real, the room looked like a hotel.
We should have known as soon as we got off the elevator when the carpet was orange or whatever color that damn carpet.
It's not orange. It was just like an older style carpet, Ian. It wasn't horrible.
They had like Renaissance patterns on the ceiling.
Yeah. No. And Ian and I are super modern people. That's the kicker. We're not into like vintage or old stuff. We like modern stuff.
Very modern, straight lines.
It's part of the problem. So we get in the room and it looks like a motel room, not a hotel, a motel. And my hotel limits are the Marriott. Like this is not it was not a Marriott by any means, but the Courtyard Marriott is my baseline for hotels. Like I don't stay in anything lesser than a Courtyard Marriott. Like that's about it. And so this, no, bro.
Our hotel we were staying at before outside the strip was better than the room we're staying at now.
Yeah.
That's how rough this room was.
And that was a Holiday Inn. That was a nice.
Yeah, that was a
Holiday
Holiday Inn
Inn.
Express. It was a Holiday Inn.
Nice.
That one was nice, bright.
Yeah.
I mean, everything
Yeah.
new in there. I mean, you know.
Yeah, this place had there was barely any light. I turned the lights on. I couldn't even see.
I'm like, Natalie, turn the lights up. That's it. That's it. It was like damp. I mean, not damp, but very low in the room. The lights would never go.
You
Very,
couldn't really see.
very yellow looking lights. So it made you feel down when you went in there. And I think that's done on purpose to get you out of the rooms to go to the casinos.
It was down. It was.
Oh man.
Then the furniture was all old.
Oh God. Oh my God.
The room was clean.
Yes.
I will say that. Actually, that's a purpose. For the most part, the room was clean.
Yeah, it was clean.
But
you could open the windows. That was weird.
The hair thing. I felt the hair thing.
Crazy.
But the room was clean. But for Ian and I, the way we're used to staying, I mean, I'm semi bougie when when it comes to hotels.
Yes, you can say we're hotel snobs. You can say it.
So, well, not even a snob because we stay at the Courtyard Marriott. That's like a baseline.
Yeah, but it's still. I mean, this place, man, I was mad as hell.
Yeah. So anyway, the furniture was all old. And it was like the colors were fading. It was just an old room, and it looked like a motel more than a hotel or a resort. Because this is actually considered a resort hotel.
Yeah, yeah.
So that was the only bad part. But yeah. So
was that? Did I try to beat that guy's ass in the parking lot before we checked in? Was that the same thing?
Yeah.
Was that the same? Was that the same thing?
It was like that was the next day, but yeah.
Oh, that was the next day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ian got the parking lot situation. They had parking problems there, so it was a little rough. But anyway, so let's move on about our trip.
So what did we do the first day?
Well, no, I'm not gonna go through the whole thing. But the reason why we didn't do any gambling or anything is because we mostly went to what do they call them?
Red Rock.
We went to the
Rock Canyon.
The national parks. We went to the national.
Oh yeah, we did a lot of outside activities. Drove around the area. And that's why our main purpose was to do the outside stuff.
Yeah, so we went to Red Rock Canyon.
What's the other one called?
Mount
Charles.
So we went to look at this house because we wanted to see what houses look like in Vegas. It was like a new building development, and the guy told us about this place called Mount Charleston, and it was only in like an hour away, and the temperature was going to be like 30 degrees left.
Oh yeah,
and it was like 100 plus in Vegas.
It was like 110 when we left that day.
Yeah, y'all ain't catching me in Vegas in the summer.
Never doing it again.
So we were like, oh yeah. When he told us that, we're like, yeah, we're going up there because we need to get away from this heat. So we went up to Mount Charleston. It was like 45 minutes, and we saw like horses, wild donkeys. Yeah.
Can we give a shout out to our friends we met too?
Oh yeah, we met this really nice couple.
Shout out Kevin and Brittany. Thank you guys.
Yes, and they gave us like a whole bunch of things to do in Vegas, other things that are kind of off the beaten path, places to eat and things like that. So yeah, they were very, very nice people. Oh, the reason why we even met them. Forgot about.
Oh yeah.
All right, so we get to this Mount Charleston.
We were about leaving when this happened.
Yeah, we were about to leave. So we were walking. I think Ian had to go to the bathroom. Something. We were walking over, and there's this lady with this big old Great Dane, and so we're looking, and it had the dog. There was like balloons. And stuff for the dog with the lady. There's a lady and a dog.
Yes.
And there's like balloons that say happy birthday and everything. So we're like, oh, there's a birthday party.
Yeah, we're waiting for them to show up.
I'm looking for the kids. I'm looking for the,
we're waiting.
But it's just a lady and her dog. Mm-hmm. So Ian and the guy, Kevin, that we end up talking to, they make eye contact like, hey, that lady's crazy. This lady, no, she didn't even have like a friend with her.
Oh.
She was throwing her dog a party. Like literally a party. She had 2 big bags with gifts. She had balloons, and the dog with this is a nice Great Dane, beautiful little dog or big dog, had a collar on, like a what they call a bandana that said happy birthday.
Oh my God.
And then I look at the cake and I was like, that ain't no cake. It was this big like cottage cheese mound with bacon coming
Yeah.
the dog's cake because it was for the dog.
I didn't know it was for the dog. I just thought it was a weird like a cake when I first saw it.
Yeah, but that was the dog's cake. So this lady.
Oh my God, this lady was weird, man.
So she's like yelling at people because they're in her shot.
Oh yeah. She's taking a picture.
Because she's taking a picture of the dog.
Move, please, can you move? And the guy looks at her like, okay.
Yeah, because he's in the back.
He's in the background
of her dog's picture, and her. So she had a photo session. She's yelling at the dog because the dog won't look at her, and the dog.
This is not a person. This is a dog. This is a Great Dane. He's just trying to do a Great Dane stuff.
Chill out, yeah. But and I had never seen such a thing. But she literally threw this whole
party. We watched the entire thing.
Dog.
It was such entertainment.
She took pictures. She fed him his cake. And they never opened the gifts though. She just got the
No,
gifts.
I've never seen anything like
And
this.
everybody was kind of looking at her like
The entire place,
what?
the entire place kind of sat down to just watch this lady have her little celebration with the dog, like
Yeah.
by herself.
So,
No one even came over with her.
yeah.
Just celebrated with the
But
dog. I'm
that's
like,
how we ended up
we didn't.
talking to Brittany and Kevin.
Yeah, we didn't leave
was
for a long
because-
time after that. We just talked.
It was because of that lady and her dog. That was interesting. But yeah. So then we also went to Mount Charleston. We went to Lee Canyon,
Yeah, that
which
was.
is another, I guess, mountain rocks. I mean,
Did we go to Lee Canyon? I thought we just drove by it. We didn't get a chance to. We had to leave.
oh yes, yes.
We just ended up-
went
'cause it
we
was
didn't
getting
go-
late.
Yeah, we didn't go in Lee Canyon.
Because we ended up, we just ended up having to drive.
And then we went to the Grand Canyon.
Oh, that was the next day or the day?
Yeah,
after that?
the last day or the last
Second to
before we
last
went-
day. Yeah,
we
yeah.
went to the Grand Canyon.
Now that was amazing. That was very. I mean, it was. I bitched. You know, we went. Where in the Grand Canyon did we go? The Skywalk.
Oh yes, we did the
How you
skywalk.
can't forget about that, man?
Huh?
Tell them what you did on
I'm
the
trying to,
Skywalk.
like, forget the trauma.
Oh, Natalie's a little punk ass. First of all, we
I don't like heights, man.
it was
I don't like heights.
expensive. It was like $65 each, something
Well,
like
that's to
that.
get in. Yeah,
So-
50 to get in and
So I
20
was like,
something or
so I was like,
something
no, it's like $150 to go to the Grand Canyon. I'm like, that ain't worth it. And then when I tell you what we did, then you'll see it was worth it. So we pay the money, we drive. I think how far is it away? 2 hours away from
Yeah, 2
where
hours
we're
from
staying.
Vegas. Yeah.
We drive through these little. I'm talking. I've never seen towns in the middle of literally in the middle of the desert.
Mm.
These little towns in the middle of the desert. We drive. We get there, and when we get there, we have to get on a bus. You have to meet at the meeting place, and you get a bus, and the bus takes you actually to the Grand Canyon. First of all, so it ends up you go to like 2 or 3 spots. Is that how it goes?
Yeah.
When you pay
Yeah.
the money?
We went to 2. Yeah.
So and then you take your pictures, and should we post those up on the
Yeah.
website?
Yeah. We'll post our pictures.
We'll post a couple of the pictures on the website.
We'll put them on our Facebook page.
But we did that, and gosh, it was I can't describe it. It was just amazing. When if you haven't seen the Grand Canyon in person, I mean, it just takes your breath away. It was probably the best time I had was going there, the Grand Canyon the whole time.
Grand Canyon was good. So the Grand Canyon was great, but we did the skywalk thing, and it was very scary.
Tell them what the Skywalk is.
The skywalk is like I don't know, like a U-shaped overhang where you're actually standing on glass over the Grand Canyon.
So what happened is there's 2 Grand Canyon parks. There's the federal Grand Canyon, and the one we went to was owned by, what was the tribe
I think
called?
it's the Holopai.
Holopai, but they
think it's
own
like-
this part of the Grand Canyon is on their land. So
Yes.
they designed they engineered and built this skywalk. It goes out over the canyon. I don't know how many feet it goes out, 40, 50
remember.
feet in an arc. And there's glass, and you walk on glass around it, and
So
there's
you
glass.
can see down to the bottom
And
of the canyon.
And when you're walking, all you're looking is what 4,000 feet down
yeah,
to the ground. 4,000 feet, and you're like, this is. And if you think about it, you'd be scared to death. So I didn't think about it. I'm like, well, y'all got to die sometime. And I wish I had video of Natalie.
oh yeah, you're not allowed to take any cameras,
Yeah.
cell phones, water bottles. You can't take anything with you.
Yeah,
And
that's
you got to put on these special shoes.
yeah.
so you don't
The
scratch
scam
glass.
is they take all the pictures and then you buy the pictures.
Yeah, you gotta pay
expensive as
25
hell.
bones a
You
picture.
can't bring your phone or nothing. Well, first of all, they don't want you to drop the phone and scratch the glass, and you have to wear the stuff on your shoes that way you don't scratch the glass. But when Natalie's walking out there, now I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna walk out there because this glass ain't going nowhere. Natalie's like.
Tread lightly.
Pins and needles. She can't even walk. Oh, Ian, like an old lady.
Hey, but
Getting
I did
her
it.
legs
I
up
did
to
it.
walk out there,
I
and
don't like heights.
oh
man.
my
I
God,
don't like heights.
Natalie, oh, Ian, oh,
Wait,
oh.
if I don't have control, just like when I went, what's that? Rock climbing. I got up the wall, but I couldn't get back
you're
down
a
because
punk, man.
I didn't have control. I had to release control to this mechanism. I don't do well.
Listen, they over-engineer this thing. This thing ain't going
But
nowhere,
look,
man.
look. The thing I've realized about like life is very precious and things happen in a moment, right?
Yeah.
Accidents happen in moments, right? So, and we're at this thing and it's glass. I don't trust none of these things, like, because I know at any moment in time something could happen. Like, I mean, I hate to talk
The
about
rock
it,
slide could just slide up in the whole mountain. Everybody just dies.
but I don't know,
I mean, it could happen.
right?
The
So-
chances are slim, but it could.
Right. But think about how real this is. Okay. So after we get done at the Grand Canyon, we're going to our car. We're taking the bus back, and the bus is like, oh, you can't go out the front door to your car. We have
Yeah.
to drive you to your car.
Oh, yeah, I remember this part.
Turns out there was an accident in the parking
Ooh,
lot
man.
at the Grand Canyon.
In the parking lot,
in the parking
where we
lot.
were just at.
Right. So this is what I'm saying, how fast life can move. So
Yeah.
that's why I take nothing for granted and
No, you
think that
can't.
nothing can't happen to me because life happens in the blink of an eye. So we look out the window because we can't get out the door. We look out the door and there's a bus turned over on top of a car
Mm.
and crashed into one car front ways and fell over partially onto another car, right in the parking lot. And we can see our car that we were parked
Ooh.
at about what, 30 feet,
We're,
20
we're
feet
about
away
30 to 20 feet from the bus.
from the bus,
Woo.
right? Our car. And our car's the only car there.
Yeah, our car is the only one left because
Right.
they've moved all the other cars.
No, I don't think they moved them. People had just left for the day because we got there. Turns out we got to the Grand Canyon maybe 10 or 15 minutes before that bus crashed.
Ooh.
Now we could have been in that parking lot
Yep.
and gotten hit and
Yeah,
died.
man.
And somebody,
Somebody ended up dying.
unfortunately lost their life that
Yeah.
day. And 50 something people were injured
Yeah,
from the bus.
when the bus
There were
flipped.
people on, so it was a bus that was coming from probably Vegas
Yeah.
to visit the Grand Canyon. And there are people on this bus because it was in the parking lot of the Grand
That's where
Canyon.
the accident happened, was in the parking lot.
Right.
It
So
looked
before
like
you get into the park, that's what happened. Someone, I don't know
it
what
looked like
happened.
the driver had something happen and the bus just went straight and turned and then
Yeah.
flipped. That's
We
what it
don't know.
looked
We
like. We
didn't
don't
see
know.
the
They didn't say anything
Right, no one
about
said
it.
what
So
happened, but we just saw the bus literally
Yeah.
was turned on its
Yeah.
side and a car was
yeah, you're
partially
right.
banged into a car. They had to use like
The jaws of life to
jaws
cut
thing
out the car. Yeah, it was
And
crazy.
then they had another car that the bus had ran into this way.
Yeah, the front end was smashed in that
Yeah,
car, but it didn't fall on that car. It just hit it.
Right. So yeah, so it was like
Yeah, Natalie's right though.
that's why I don't. So me going on that glass. I know I don't want it to happen, but I know that glass could crack. Like
Yeah.
it could crack. Like they've tested it, they've done all these things for it, but you just don't know, right?
Everything's a probability in
So
life.
that's
Everything.
why, yes. Do I act scared? Yes, because there is a probability
acting
that
like
I
a
could
bitch.
at that moment not make it or something could happen in that moment. I try not to live in fear.
So embarrassed.
And
Now,
that's why I went. No, it doesn't matter. But you know what? What matters is that I went and I conquered my
Yeah.
fear. Even though I have the fear, like the fear of Jesus in me when I go on stuff like that. Even when I take these roller coasters and stuff, I don't like to do it, but I do it because I can't live in fear and I move forward. So, yes, was I scared? Yes, was I moving real slow? Yes, did I look real crazy out there? Heck yeah, but I did it. Thank you very much, Ian Beeson. Hater.
yeah, that was a crazy way to end the trip though. Seeing that bus, man.
Yeah, that was a little because especially after we found out
I
that
did
it
video.
right after we got
It
there.
was literally after we got there and the
Yeah,
accident
the
happened.
accident
So we didn't even know about it the whole time we were in the canyon walking around seeing the different things.
Yeah,
The
we
bus
did,
had already
yeah.
crashed, and they're doing their thing.
Yeah, they had to lift eight people, and
That's where all the helicopters
there
were
was
flying
over
around.
50 on the bus. They bus transported.
They bus
some,
I think like 20 or 30 of them had to take
and
my
then
bus.
they had to air transport 8, and then one person.
And the
passed away.
hospital's over 30 miles away.
Yeah,
The
so
nearest
that's why they
hospital.
had to air transport
Yeah.
people because so it was a really bad accident. But
Yep.
but one of the things before we wrap up, but I want to talk about remember why we're doing video today.
Oh, why are we doing video?
So
Oh,
we went to the timeshare.
Oh yeah, that's part. Damn it.
One thing we did do early was a couple days before, where after we got there, we went to do the timeshare presentation that was required for our stay at
Oh,
this
this is the best part.
splendid hotel.
Yes.
And we met this cool lady named Jennifer. She was really nice.
Do you remember her name?
Yeah, her name was Jennifer.
I hope she hears this
From
podcast.
Canada. She was
okay.
cool. Jennifer from Canada was really cool. She was like, "How do you know I'm from Canada?" I said, "Your accent," and you said, "Hey."
Yeah, I mean,
she was talking. She's like, "Hey,"
yeah.
and I was like, "Oh, she's from Canada."
Of course she's from Canada. I'm like,
my aunt talks like that, and they're from Canada, right? So, but she was from Canada, and Ian and I sat there, and she was just asking us questions, and then she's like, "Are you guys like on TV?
yeah. She
Do you have a
asked.
show?"
Yeah.
And I was like,
yeah. She goes,
"No."
and we both are like, "What are you talking about?" She goes,
She's like, "Are you guys pretending?"
no, she goes, "Are you guys actors?" We're like, "What?
Yeah, yes. So that's the first question. Are you actors? And we're like,
What are you talking about,
No.
actors?" She goes, "This is not real." We're like,
I said, "What is not real?" She's
Yeah,
like, "YouTube." And I'm like, what do you mean?
"What are you
She's
talking
like,
about?"
Yeah, she's like, "You guys are like got this thing going."
Yeah.
And she's like,
And
"You
she's
only see that on like TV shows or something." And I was like,
What are you talking
I
about,
said,
lady?
We're just who we are. Like we're not. I said, we're not there to be to pretend that we're somebody else.
yeah.
We're just here.
I felt good.
because
She
we
told me
had to do
that.
this time.
She thought we were actors.
And
I'm
then
like,
she said, well, and then we told her we were like, oh, well, we do have a podcast. She goes, okay, I know there was something. And I was like, yeah, she's like, you need to do video.
Mhm.
And I was like, what? Why? She's
And I've been telling Nelly this for years, by the way.
yeah,
The
and
last
we don't
3
need to be on
years.
camera.
3
I'm not a
years.
camera
3
person. And
years.
also, I didn't because of the job that I do. Like, it's just in the male-dominated field. I didn't want to have to be like, on like kind of public, I guess you want to say. But I'm at a point in life where I'm like, you know what? live in fear. You can't not do
That's
things
right.
because of what other people might
Tell
think,
'em,
right?
Natalie.
Who's for me is for
Tell 'em
me, and
that.
what's for me is for me.
That's right.
So I decided, okay,
Mhm.
we're gonna do video. So we decided that this will be our first video episode since the lady told us we need to do video.
And she said,
Since
she goes,
Jennifer
if you
said that,
do it, you're going to be so successful. I can see you guys. You
well,
guys
we'll
are
see.
funny.
We'll see.
You guys are
But she
funny.
said she's like she's been in casting and things like that. So
Oh,
she's like, you guys got to do
oh,
video.
remember what?
She's like, audio is okay, but video, you need to do
Remember what she said? She goes, I used to be an acrobat for Circus Olay. We're like, acrobat. And we both said, you mean flippy flippy? Like
Now you kind of like revealing who Jennifer is, man.
nobody's going to know who it is.
Well, I don't
How
know.
many Jennifers are there in Circus Olay?
Well, I
Flippy,
guess her
flippy.
name's Jennifer.
There's how
got-
many Jennifers
She has
are
a
there?
common name. Thank
Yeah,
goodness. All right, she
nobody
got a
knows who
common
this
name.
who this lady is. All right, it's a flippy flippy. We're like, whoa! But the crazy thing is, when Nelly and I looked at her, we wouldn't even know that she was in that.
No, she was just
she just looked
cool,
like a
just
regular
cool
person.
lady.
Yeah, man.
So she
Flippy
was
flippy
like
Jennifer.
adamant that we need to do video and that we should not have another podcast until we do video.
Yes.
So we are here with our makeshift video, which is really crazy.
It's gonna get better though. It'll get better,
Yeah.
but we have to start somewhere.
So
So
like I said, imperfect action. We're doing it.
we got it to work. That's all that counts.
Yes, yes.
So I don't see anything else.
Yes, we did get it to work. But yeah, so that's we're just Ian wanted
Wait,
to talk about our trip today.
I have one more thing
Oh,
on the
what is
paper
it?
here. I have to go because I have to talk about this one. So we
Paper.
Kevin and
What are you
Brittany
talking about?
recommended the place to eat. Remember that little the enclosures with all the tractor
Oh, on Fremont Street.
yeah, yeah. The tractor trailer enclosures. What's that called? You know what I'm talking.
The container.
Containers.
The container park. They have a container park where it's made of containers and there's stores and restaurants.
I got to talk
Oh
about
God,
No, so I mean, by the time we got there, a lot of them were closed out. So we found this one place. I mean, it wasn't the best, but we ordered some chicken wings.
yeah.
Barbecue and then fries. The tater tots. Potato tots were good, by the way. And Natty goes, oh, I want a donut. So Natalie,
Well, it said hot mini donuts.
Listen to this.
It said hot mini donuts.
it said hot mini donuts. So Natalie goes, I want a donut. So Natalie goes, okay, I want to take one of those, and it comes with what? Apple and cream.
I got apple pie, so it was like apple compote kind of with whipped cream.
Describe
And then I got Oreo. I think Oreo.
Did you eat that one?
After the first one.
All right. Tell them what you got. Now, first of all, the chicken wings weren't. It sounds like they got chicken wings from Costco or something. I don't know. And they just put barbecue sauce in it and gave it to us and charged us a lot of money.
They were edible.
But tell them about the donut that you got.
The donut was that's why I was upset about the donut.
Now listen to this.
I bit into the donut. It said hot mini donuts, and it's like apple. They had all these different types.
Man.
I bit into the donut. It wasn't hot. And I could tell it was one of those donuts from a bag.
It was a 7-Eleven donut.
No, it was not 7-Eleven. No, he means the ones that come in the bags. The little mini donuts.
The little mini donuts in the bag.
So they basically they took the mini donuts from the bag. They put a little apple. I hate when I just disappear. There I go. They put a little apple
jam
thing compote on there, which is
apple puree.
And then they put a little whipped cream on top. Now, if they had actually made the donut, it would have been good. But the fact that it was like a regular old dry, not hot donut, and they charge $1. So they're charging you $1.
And now they bought two.
Which is like after they probably paid 10 cents per donut because you got a bag for like $3.
That's Vegas, man. That's Vegas.
I was hurt. I ain't even finished them.
That's Vegas.
And I love sweets. And I was just like, I ain't eating them damn.
Natalie was mad as hell. Natalie's like, what the hell?
I was deceived.
I was like, whatever, man.
Straight up. But the cool thing at the park is they have, not a praying mantis. What was that thing called?
Yeah, it was a praying mantis.
They have a metal, like this big praying mantis.
I'll try to put that picture up too.
It's huge, and it sits on top of a car. And it's like one of those, you could call it like a junk one where they just put different parts together and they make this out of metal. And on the antlers of the praying mantis, it spits out flames. And like every 15 minutes, they put music on, and the flames go out of the thing like to the music. It's crazy. It was crazy.
I wonder if I can put that video up. I'll try to put that up.
I got a video. I got like a 10-second video or something. Yeah, so it was kind of cool. It was cool. It was neat, but it was hot as heck once that thing went shh, and it went along with the music. So with the
I did record that.
So, Fremont Street. I was very surprised that Fremont Street.
Was that the thing with all the lights?
Okay. Last two things. Right. Last two things. We just talking about our trip. We ain't like talking about nothing.
Who cares?
But the last two things. So when we went on Fremont Street, I thought Fremont Street was like, from the time when I went there before, it was kind of dead. So we were like, oh, let's just walk.
Yeah,
because
the old strip,
yeah,
old Vegas.
the container park is right next to Fremont Street, or on Fremont Street, I think it was. So we go walking down there just to walk, after eating all that grease. And I was surprised that there were so many people
Oh
out there.
man.
They had like a zip line that goes down the street. They covered the street with a LED,
Yeah,
which was so neat.
like
With
a
the
huge LED
TV,
screen.
like the length of a whole block.
Yeah, man, it was
And then
whew,
they had music, and they had vision, like
live
visuals.
concerts.
Yeah, visuals going on up on the LED that was like a over
It was
like this.
it was
over
awesome. I think that was Sunday night we went on that. It was amazing.
Yeah, it was Sunday night. Yeah, that was pretty neat.
It was amazing.
Fremont Street's a little wild. They had all these men with their shirts off, and women can get pictures. They had women with
The hoes were out there.
stars on their nipples, and their boobs are all out.
Oh, I
and
was
they
like,
were out.
man,
I
don't
know
bring
what-
your kids out there. I'm telling you that. Damn.
Some titties. Why
Well-
I got hanging on titty? The nipple wasn't even.
You know what I don't understand is why even cover the nipple? Because I'm seeing
because
No,
men,
no,
men run the world. That's why. And,
No, no,
and
but-
they sexualize nipples and they sexualize breasts. So
dude, if you
that's why.
I saw 99% of your breast. I don't care about the nipple at that point.
I mean, I agree.
It doesn't
I don't
matter. I'm
see-
just I'm
women
like
should be able to walk with their titties out.
you're out there and I'm looking at your I see your breasts. Like I could go touch them and
yes,
then
they got them tickle bitties.
I don't care if there's tape on them. It's still doing the same thing. Like,
Right, it's
nipple
just a
or not.
nipple,
It
right,
doesn't like I don't
right.
care about your stupid
So
ass
the whole
nipple.
breast was exposed.
The whole
Just
thing.
the nipple was covered with
Oh, just
the stars.
the nipple and the areolas are covered. I'm like
Yeah.
that, and I'm like that does nothing for me. And I'm like that didn't work.
But yeah, so there are all kind of people out there. It was a neat little
Everybody's really having a good time though.
yeah, it was a neat
I mean,
spot.
yeah.
And the last thing we're gonna talk about, last thing, is they just built this new sphere. I'm in love with the sphere.
You better put this up too.
So the
Yeah.
sphere is basically a big, huge circle, like the Earth, and it's a concert hall. So I think U2 in a few months is going to have their first ever concert.
What do they call the
there.
Death Star? Is that what they wanted to call
The
it?
locals call it the Death Star. 'Cause it's
Yeah.
just this big. If
It's a
it
huge
doesn't
sphere.
have, if the LEDs aren't on, it looks like a big black circle.
Yeah.
But the whole circle, the whole sphere, I should call it a sphere.
That's
It's a sphere.
amazing.
The whole sphere is actually made of LEDs. It's LED TV.
Yep.
So the whole thing is like one screen,
It's
and then they
amazing.
have this huge screen inside for when they start having concerts in there. It's like
It's
a new concert.
It's
venue.
amazing, and they have all these patterns. What
yes. And
basketballs,
they put like
the moon.
yeah,
Oh
they got-
gosh.
The first night we were driving, we were looking for the laundromat, trying to
Oh,
do
that was another
laundry at
story.
like 10 o'clock at night.
In the hood.
Bad idea. But anyway, we go to do the laundry.
Forgot
The
about
laundromat
that.
was not that bad.
Oh boy.
The people there were a little extra.
Yeah,
You
they're
could tell
they're
they got-
very
they got
animated,
some
boy.
problems, but
Woo!
They was all right. They was all right. So as we're driving back from the laundromat, like basically the street, like almost you could say, looks like it dead ends into the sphere. And then it was looking like the moon. And then they
Yeah.
had different variations of the moon on the sphere. It looked like a real moon,
And
like in
for
the middle
us,
of the city.
yeah, for us, the street we were on, it looked like you're driving straight into the moon.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
So it looked really cool.
Yeah, yeah. So the sphere, that's a brand new thing. I think it opens officially in
Wow.
September or October, but the fact that they're actually using it now and putting projections on the outside of it is really cool. And I was enamored with the sphere.
we must
That was
look-
like my highlight of the trip.
We
was
must have looked at that sphere about 2 or 3. Natalie goes, Ian, drive by the sphere.
Hey, but hey, that street that we went to a side street. to look
Hey
at the
man,
sphere the
there,
other night.
there were several hundred people
There were
also
people
looking.
all these people lined
People
up on
in
the street
traffic would
looking at the
stop.
sphere.
I mean, everybody was looking at the sphere like, I mean, they were enamored by the
yeah,
sphere.
I'm gonna post a bunch of the pictures on our Facebook page and on our Instagram.
It does no justice till you see it in person, though. Like even
Yeah.
though for the I mean, when you see it in person, you're just gonna sit there and just stare at it like this is
I mean,
this
the
is
one
amazing.
thing I got, and the one thing I've noticed a lot is if you can dream it and you can think it, like people make their weird dreams come true all the time. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like this sphere. Someone just said, you know what? I think we should build this big sphere with a huge screen on it. Let's make it happen. No one's really had done that before, probably,
Mhm.
but they figured out how to do it and made it happen. And I was like, to me, that kind of signified like, if you can dream it, you can do it. And
It's
you really
true.
got to believe in yourself and whatever it is that you want to obtain or reach to, that you can do it. Because people come up, there's another idea. I forgot what it was, but people come up with the weirdest ideas, and they do them and they get successful at them. And they're not even things that you were like, why would,
Yeah.
even like the Spanx lady, the lady who invented Spanx, like, this lady's a mega millionaire. I forgot her name, but she's like a mega millionaire now because she wanted a better shapewear out there and then what was made. And she just said, you know what? I'm going to create it. I'm going to do it. And she did.
Yeah.
So that kind of inspired me that when I saw the sphere, I think that's why I liked it so much. I was inspired because someone thought of this. Like all these crazy things in Vegas, people thought like, oh, that's what it was. I was looking at like the Excalibur Hotel, which is a really old hotel, but it looks cool because it's a castle. Someone said, I want to build a castle, a hotel that looks like a castle.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked at over at New York and I was like, somebody said, and there's a roller coaster and there's a Statue of Liberty. I'm like, somebody just like thought this up and said, I want to do this. And they
Yeah.
everybody else into
Yeah, yeah.
helping them to do it.
You're right.
Right. So I just was like, you know what? You can accomplish anything that you want to if you put your mind to it and you just keep at it, you know. So that was my inspiration.
That's good. That was a great trip. If you guys, I'd say go to Vegas and just go with an open mind. Go there and enjoy don't go there, thinking these people are crazy. I think everyone out there knows what's out there. And Natalie and I went out there and I think this is one of the best trips I've ever had.
Good time.
And next time we go out there, we might actually go see some shows.
Yes. We did not.
We didn't see one show.
No. Well, first of all, I thought about going to a show, but then I was like, oh, I don't spend the money. I was just being cheap. But then I found out they had the Michael Jackson Cirque du Soleil, and I was like, yeah, I'd pay for that.
That older couple said it was really good. That guy's eyes got big. Oh,
but
you gotta see it.
By the time I looked there,
they're sold out.
There was no show before we left, so I'm gonna go back. I'm definitely going back to go check out the shows. I'm gonna go on a show trip.
And we're gonna stay in a much better hotel.
Yeah, no more timeshare visits. I'm sorry.
Timeshares, you're fired. I'm done with your ass. Don't even talk to me anymore. When they call me on the phone,
now they will pay that money.
I'm gonna pay. I don't care about nope. You guys have failed me 3 times or more. I'm done with you. I'm not. I don't trust you guys anymore.
I'm telling you though, I still think it's the karma from your boobs. That's because you had ulterior motives. You only bought that timeshare because the lady was really nice and you had a good conversation and she had tickle bitties. That's the only reason why you bought that thing. That's what came back to bite you. And then I had to suffer because you and your.
I'm weak for big boobs. I'm sorry. At least I'm honest. So.
Yes, I appreciate your honesty. I'd rather you be honest and we talk about it.
Man.
If you hiding it, then that means it's wrong, right?
Yeah. I'm not gonna.
The fact that you can be honest about it, and I can accept it as it is what it is.
Yeah, I'm weak for boobs. I'm like, damn, man. They were as big. Oh boy, it's never gonna happen again. Actually, after this experience, I don't care how big the boobs are. I'm like, nah, man, I'm not listening to nothing no one's saying. No way.
He's not getting seduced.
If it's this hotel chain, absolutely not. I'm not doing this anymore. Not this. I'm not gonna mention their name, but I'm not gonna do it no more. Just it's not worth it. It's not worth my time.
No.
And I think I'll just plan my vacations and save up.
Yeah, we'll
just save up
and spend the money. Yeah, yep. But some people like doing the timeshare thing. If you don't mind the timeshare visits, it's not a bad deal because we got
no, it's actually pretty good.
5-day 4 nights for $390.
Yeah, it wasn't.
So it's not a bad.
We didn't
deal.
lose out there.
Now, if we had stayed where we were supposed to be staying.
Oh God.
Oh yeah, because last thing. But they said that the reason why we're in that hotel is because they had overflow. So instead of just telling us, oh, we're booked up and we can't accommodate those dates, they put us in the worst hotel because that's their overflow hotel. And I will say the salespeople were mad about it because they know it affects their sales and affects how people see their image of their company.
And it did.
And so they were like, please write this up to let us know how, about your stay, because we're trying to get them to change that, to not have anyone stay at that hotel because we know people come and they're upset about it.
You wasted our time.
Yeah. So the salespeople were nice and they didn't, they didn't
a whole bunch of points at the end for it.
Well, that's part of the package.
I didn't even know.
I didn't know bonus. That's what you go.
I didn't even know. I wasn't expecting that.
Well, take them points and run.
I did.
Yeah.
Whole bunch of points.
But that was our vacation. A little mini recap of our Vegas trip and our first trying out of video. So we appreciate you guys listening.
Yeah.
And
join us on our streaming platforms: Spotify, Spreaker, iHeartRadio, Google Podcast, and all the other streaming media. We're on all of them. Family Mess Podcast Facebook page and the Family Mess Podcast on Instagram. I can't think of anything else to talk to anybody about.
Okay, well then,
how am I going to say bye? Now you're going to see us all on video now. And see our face. It's not awkward.
Is weird.
That's because you're looking at yourself.
I am, and I'm trying to. We have to get this set up right. Because I'm looking.
You got to look there.
I probably should have put. You know what?
Right there, not there.
I know. I should have been. I should have put the camera like that.
Yes. Yeah. Now.
Sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I figured that out at the end. But at least I figured it out.
We've been looking this way the whole time. Why is Ian and
I should have known
why
that
is Ian and Natalie looking this
I
way
put my Zoom
the
like
whole
this.
time they're talking, not looking at us?
Sorry.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
here
So
we
that
are.
looks much better. See.
So next time we'll fix it. I
Yeah.
apologize.
Well, that's what happens. So please join us again. We're gonna do more videos. I guess we have to have guests too.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. That we have.
We'll have a real setup by then. We'll have a real setup. This right here is bootleg. I
Yeah.
can never get my shed finished. We'll talk about that another day.
All right, everybody. We'll join you soon. God bless. Take care. Bye.
Right. Why didn't I do that before?
You're still recording, bro.
Oh.
I don't know how to stop that. You edit it?